The Miracle of Dunkirk, an unheard story of World War II. World War II was filled with many incredible stories, but one of the most dramatic and lesser-known tales is the Miracle of Dunkirk in 1940. This event was not just a military operation, but a moment of hope and unity that changed the course of the war. Soldiers trapped on the beaches. In May 1940, German forces were advancing quickly through Europe, using a strategy called blitzkrieg, or lightning war. They moved so fast that they trapped nearly 400,000 British, French, and Belgian soldiers on the beaches of Dunkirk, a small town in northern France. The soldiers had their backs to the sea, with the Germans closing in. It seemed like certain doom. There was no way to escape by land, and the British Navy alone couldn't evacuate such a large number of troops in time. The decision, Operation Dynamo. The British government knew they had to act fast, so they launched Operation Dynamo. The plan was simple but risky. Evacuate as many soldiers as possible from Dunkirk using any available ships. The operation began on May 26, 1940, but there was a problem. The harbor at Dunkirk was too shallow for large Navy ships to approach the shore. The soldiers were stuck on the beaches, waiting to be rescued under constant German bombing and shelling. The call for help, a civilian armada. Here's where the story takes an incredible turn. The British government put out a call for help to civilian boat owners, asking anyone with a boat, big or small, to sail across the English Channel and help rescue the soldiers. This call was answered by a remarkable group of people: fishermen, pleasure boat owners, lifeboat crews, and even those with small personal boats. They all risked their lives to save the soldiers stranded at Dunkirk. Over 800 civilian boats joined the rescue mission, including tiny vessels that would normally never venture far from shore. These boats became known as the Little Ships of Dunkirk. Despite being heavily bombarded by the Germans, these brave civilians navigated the dangerous waters and sailed right into the heart of the war zone. The miracle, overcoming the odds. What happened next was nothing short of a miracle. The soldiers on the beaches of Dunkirk were loaded onto these small boats and ferried to the larger ships waiting offshore, or in many cases, taken all the way back to England. Despite the dire circumstances, the weather played an unexpected role. A thick fog and low clouds provided cover from the German air attacks, while the usually rough seas of the English Channel were unusually calm, allowing the boats to make the journey more safely. Over 9 days, from May 26 to June 4, 1940, a total of 338,000 soldiers were evacuated from Dunkirk. This was far more than anyone had expected. Although the British Army had to leave behind most of its equipment, including tanks and heavy weapons, the soldiers' lives were saved, allowing them to fight another day. The impact, turning the tide of the war. The Dunkirk evacuation wasn't just a military operation, it became a symbol of hope and determination. The successful rescue of so many soldiers lifted the spirits of the British people and gave them the strength to continue fighting. It also sent a powerful message to the world, that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage and unity can lead to incredible outcomes. Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister, captured the mood perfectly in a speech to the House of Commons, saying, "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills, we shall never surrender." This speech rallied the British people and inspired them to keep going, even when things looked bleak. Aftermath, a story of human spirit. The Miracle of Dunkirk is often remembered as a story of survival against the odds, but it's also a story of the human spirit. The courage of the soldiers who waited on the beaches, not knowing if they would be saved, and the bravery of the ordinary civilians who risked their lives to rescue them, showed the world what people can achieve when they come together. The events at Dunkirk became a turning point in World War II. While it was technically a retreat, the successful evacuation allowed the Allies to regroup and eventually defeat the Nazis. The Miracle of Dunkirk remains a powerful reminder that even in the darkest times, hope, courage, and unity can lead to extraordinary outcomes. A legacy of bravery. The story of Dunkirk is a testament to the power of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. The bravery of those who took part in the evacuation, both soldiers and civilians, showed that even when all seems lost, the human spirit can overcome incredible challenges. The miracle of Dunkirk continues to inspire and remind us that in unity there is strength and in courage there is hope.